Good morning. Good Monday morning to you. Welcome to the Morning Touch. I'm Darwin Campbell. The Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaplain for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale. Well, the field is set. As we look at forward to 2 weeks, Super Bowl 55 is set. It will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions. This is a game where everybody will have their attention. The fact of the matter is you got MVP Patrick Mahomes versus MVP Tom Brady appearing in his 10th Super Bowl. And you have the combination of the older versus the younger. The older being Tom Brady, the younger generation being Patrick Mahomes. In the end, only one quarterback will be the best. In the end, there can only be one Super Bowl champion. But today, as we start the week, I want us to focus on who's your MVP. And I'm not talking about Tom Brady. I'm not talking about Patrick Mahomes. Who's your most valuable player in your life? Who's the most valuable player as you walk through this challenge world today? For me, my most valuable player is Jesus. He gets my trophy every time. When I think about Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 8, the Bible says, Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Teams can change from year to year. Tampa Bay, Super Bowl today, last place next year. Kansas City, Super Bowl today, struggling next year. But one thing I can say about Jesus Christ is when I enter the game with Jesus Christ, I am guaranteed to win. Jesus Christ will help me walk through the life. When I take the spiritual playing field, I can be confident. I can trust in my most valuable player. My most valuable player will not let me down. His name is Jesus. The same yesterday, today, and forever. He's my spiritual quarterback. He's my field general. He's the one that calls the plays in my life. And I trust him. And I'm going to tell you why I trust him. I trust him to call the plays in my life because when I'm on the field, he will get the first downs I need going down life's fields. It's rough out there. The defense comes after you with everything they've got. But when the defense comes after you with everything they got, Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever, stands there and he helps me through. He gets me through that tough defensive line. As I drop back in the pocket, every day I drop back in the pocket, those challenges of life, the defense is coming. Satan is trying to intercept me. Satan is trying to sack me. Satan is trying to discourage me when I run the ball or when I throw the ball. But the Lord tells me to hold on to the ball tight and to trust the play that he's called for my life. And he tells me, I will get you through the line. And when the ball goes up into the air, when the ball leaves my hand, the Lord tells me to be excited to know that it will be a completion. There are no incomplete passes with Jesus. There are no fumble footballs with Jesus. If you stand firm and you trust him, you will go through the line. And no matter how Satan attacks you with his power plays and his blitzes and his spy components, he will not be successful because the Lord has spoken that even if he tries to sack you or intercept you, you will succeed. The plays that Jesus calls for your life are successful. He completes all of life's passes. Look at me in John chapter 14, verses 12 through 14. Jesus said, I assure you, the one who believes in me and also does the works that I do, and he will do even greater works than these because I'm going to the Father. Then he goes on to say, I, the Father, may be glorified in the Son, If you ask me anything in my name, I will do it. My friends, when you take that field and you're calling that audible and you're under center and that play goes out and the defense starts coming at you and you drop back to look whether to run or whether to throw, you don't have to worry about a thing, because in John chapter 14, 12 to 14, he says, ask anything of me and I will do it, my friends. You're going to be successful when you trust in Jesus Christ. Now, I want you to look at verse 18. He says, I'm not going to leave you out there alone. I'm not going to send in a bad play from the line. I'm going to send you everything, all the players, all the word, all the court, all the knowledge that you need to be able to successfully move this football down the field and into the red zone and the end zone. He says this in verse 18, I will not leave you as orphans. I am coming to you. In Matthew chapter 28, verse 20, the Bible says, and lo, I am with you always to the end of the age. My friends, who's your MVP today? My MVP is Jesus, because Jesus completes life's passes. Sometimes I have to throw the ball because I'm not feeling well, or I can't make it, or I'm coming up a hillside with a challenge on my back. The burden is heavy, but I call on Jesus. He says, whatsoever you ask, I will do it. We've got to trust him. He will help us get that first down, to move down the field. Whether you throw or whether you run, you've got to move down the field, push forward, get that first down so that you can keep on moving toward the goal line. When you get to the goal line and you score, you can do your touchdown eternal dance, because God will be there to cheer you on and say, well done. You've got to stay on the field. You've got to play hard. You've got to give it all you got. When I think about the promises of God, I'm encouraged. He helps me defend against the blitzes and all those things that the evil one uses to try to strip me of the ball and strip me of the control of my life. He uses discouragement. He uses frustration. He uses alcohol. He uses friends. He uses others. He brings the heat to me. And I have got to say, Lord, I trust you with everything, whether it's sickness or health, ups or downs, ins or out, money or broke. I trust you, Lord, because you've got the ball in my court and you're not going to let me fail. It is Jesus that protects me from getting sacked, from fumbling the ball, from turning it over on downs, or from creating a turnover. Listen to John chapter 15, verses 7 through 8. The Bible says, if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you want and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you produce much fruit and prove to be my disciples. When you let Jesus be the coach, when you let Jesus be the field general, when you let Jesus call the plays, you're going to be successful. He says, whatsoever you ask, I will give it. Whatsoever you do will produce fruit. You've got to stay on the field. You've got to stay in the game. You've got to keep your head together and not be discouraged. Jesus, when I get into the red zone, Jesus helps me score. Sometimes it's a spiritual field goal. Sometimes it's an outright touchdown, a 100% victory, and I can do the dance. But whatever it is, if I stick with Jesus, I will score. If I stay with Jesus, at the end of the game, when the gun sounds in the fourth quarter and my life is over, I'm going to hear, walking back to the spiritual locker room, well done. And the Lord is going to look at me in the locker room and he's going to hold up the game ball and say, the spiritual game ball goes to Brother Campbell. Why? The game ball goes to Brother Campbell because I listened to the coach. I followed his plays. I stayed on the field. I gave it all I had. He got me to the red zone and I kept pushing. I didn't allow the discouragement to take me down. As I finish today, I want to encourage you Stay on the field. Finish the race. Jesus can help you win. He's my MVP for all those reasons that I mentioned. I'm going to finish the game. I'm going to stay on the field. I'm not going to be discouraged by the plays I see the enemy when he comes after me. I know what he wants. He wants my soul. He wants your soul. But I will not roll over and give it to him. I trust Jesus. He's my MVP. He's going to help you and me bring home that spiritual Super Bowl trophy. And lo, I am with you always to the end of the age. That's Jesus. I hope, trust, and pray he's your MVP today. The Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaplaincy for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale. I hope you're on the field. I hope you're ready to compete because Jesus is standing there with you and he'll give you all that you've ever hoped for. God bless you and keep you. We'll see you again next time. Have a great week.